Hello everyone, this is Puneet Junnur, host for today's webinar on collaborative design, CAD on cloud. So today we have three speakers for this session. The first speaker is Mr. Rohit Chabra. He is the sales director for 3D Experience Work portfolio. The next speaker is Mr. Pradeep Niduram. He is the territory technical manager for India, handling SolidWorks portfolio. And the third speaker is Mr. Gurpreet Singh. He's the technical lead for 3D Experience Works portfolio. So without taking much time, I would like to invite Rohit on the stage and to take over the session.
Yeah, thank you, Puneet. Good afternoon, everyone. Today, as Puneet has just briefed you, we will be talking about collaborative design on cloud. We'll start the session. What are the essential technologies which are needed, which is the need of the hour as of now? And these are the technologies which in current COVID period is like an must-have technologies in any CAD portfolio, which is required as of now. We will be talking about two CAD design portfolio which is available with us. We'll be talking about 3D Creator and 3D Sculptor today. We'll be obviously be talking about the key feature sets in these two product portfolio. After this, we will have around 30 minutes demonstration of these two product line, which will be taken by Gurpreet and Pradeep. After that, obviously, we'll be talking about the integration of these two portfolio with SolidWorks, followed by one simple summary of this particular today's discussion. So we'll be taking around 45 minutes of yours time for this particular presentation. So let's look at the very first point which we were just referring. What are the essential technologies which are required in any current design tools which people are working upon? Each one of us have been working upon tools which were primarily devised somewhere around 2.5 decades before kind of a period. And the current time has changed. There are a lot of technologies each one of have been using in last decade or so, which in our personal day-to-day life. The technologies like social media, technologies like touch screens, phones kind of stuff. There's a lot of good artificial intelligence which is available in our phones, and then obviously a good amount of cloud stuff which we have added in our personal life. But somewhere in our professional way of working is still we are working upon the old methods of workstations and background servers and very heavy infrastructure which is required on the hardware side or on the software side. So on the design tool side, there are few things which are needed, which are like a must have after this COVID scenario has come up. Because of this work from home scenario, the remote working scenario, the very first thing which is needed is the collaboration. Now collaboration, when we say, it's a one term which is I would use a terminology kind of abuse terms in current time. Everybody's talking about collaboration, but then when it comes to design tools, you need a collaboration at multiple levels. One collaboration you definitely need at a CAD level, where two designers are working together on a single assembly kind of a thing. Another collaboration you might be needed at the data management level also. So CAD data management is also essential must have in today's design tools, because you are working from remote positioning kind of a thing. You need to have a change management process which is fully automated. You need to have a work allocation process which is fully automated. You need to have a collaboration which is revision controls need to be part and parcel of that. All these things makes a part and parcel of a collaboration technologies. Not even that, sometimes the collaboration is needed in the interdepartmental level also. For example, whatever the designers prepares, you used to have those particular meetings with the manufacturing department or the field departments, and then manufacturing department and field department used to give their feedbacks. So you need to have those meetings or those tools which are needed, where the feedback of these departments can be noted. That's also another kind of collaboration, and these all kind of collaborations are needed part and parcel of the design tools in current environment. Another thing which each one have been more habitual of using is basically the touch screens devices. So if we can have a tool which is a browser based tools, or if we can have a tool where the touch devices components can be used, that is something which will be a wow factor which can bring it to our design tool, and it can definitely brings a speed to our way of working. Another thing is the machine learning, the artificial intelligence. Probably a last 4 years or 5 years period of artificial intelligence has moved a certain level. Now with machine learning and artificial intelligence, we can improve a lot of productivity with the designers. So a design tool need to have those particular components. And then obviously cloud portfolio. When we say cloud portfolio, each one of us, we are looking for a cloud product, but let's not look out for a cloud product which is a standalone product, because ultimately end of the day, what's the point of having a standalone cloud product, and then you need to have a something which is on the on-premise softwares are also mixed and match kind of a thing. So you should look for a portfolio where you have a complete set of solutioning available at the cloud level kind of a thing. So these are the must-haves for a current design environment. Now each one of you have been aware of our 3D experience platform. So let me introduce you the 3D experience platform, how 3D experience platform can help you to take care of these particular issues which you have just talked about. Now 3D experience platforms brings all disciplines within an organization, starting from management to your manufacturing department, to design department, to the field department. Everybody can be brought on a single platform where everybody can go and interact with each other. It's a pure collaborative business platform which requires minimal IT overhead, because it's a basically hosted on a public cloud. So you don't need an heavy infrastructure on the workstation, the servers at your premises kind of a thing. Most important thing which makes 3D experience portfolio, 3D experience platform a powerful platform is it has a backbone of a 3D data sharing and viewing. So all the designs which is the backbone for your organization, because design is something which is shared across the organization, starting from your purchase department to your design department to manufacturing department, everybody views these designs only. So the backbone of 3D experience platform is nothing but a 3D data sharing and viewing platform. So let's look at the what are the cloud portfolio available in 3D experience platform. When it comes to a cloud portfolio available in 3D experience platform, we have four sets of solutions which are available. One is the base of this 3D experience platform is a collaboration portfolio available with us. Second is the design portfolio. Design portfolio we are going to talk today. Then we have a PLM portfolio available in cloud. PLM portfolio is something like a design data management solutioning which is available with us. And then we have a simulation portfolio which is available with us. Simulation portfolio is nothing but a kind of a portfolio which is required from the simulation or analysis perspective of your design needs. If you want to know more about the collaboration in PLM, we have already done 2 webinars in past. We will be sharing the links of these 2 webinars also. You can go through those particular webinars to get a more detailed information about collaboration in PLM. On simulation, we are planning to have a complete series in June. So please stay tuned. We will be sending you invites for simulation portfolio, which is available in 3D experience platform. So today's discussion, let's limit ourselves to the design portfolio available with us. In design portfolio, the very first product available in design portfolio is 3D creator. Yeah, Gurpreet, next slide please. In 3D creator portfolio, let's look at what are the key features, so the key differentiator in 3D creator portfolio which is available with us. The very first thing for 3D creator portfolio is this is the portfolio where it's a browser based parametric modeling tool which is 3D creator. A very good feature of 3D creator is the design guidance. So 3D creator can assist you with a basically selection of material or optimize the geometry of your portfolio. How it helps you is basically in a specific case. For example, you have an loads available which is applied on a geometry. You have an constraints applied on a geometry. It based on those load condition and constraints, it can suggest you the kind of material you can use in this particular product material selection. So this is a kind of competence this particular portfolio has. Another thing is generative design. Now generative design is basically, say you have an existing design which you have created in past, and you would like to optimize and see how with the new set of materials how you can optimize that particular design. It can help you to basically optimize and evolve the existing design also. So that is the competence of generative design. Then you have another good feature which is called selection helper. Now when it comes to selection helper, that is a kind of a machine learning comes into picture here. So when artificial intelligence of the software is being used here, for example, it's like it helps you to reduce your repetitive work. So for example, you have probably selected an edges in a geometry, and you would like to do a specific task based on that particular geometry. When you repeat that particular task at a later time, the software itself will assist you and tells you these are the edges which has been left out, kind of a thing, because it has learned from your earlier selection itself. So software has those particular repetition, is it's like machine learning, which comes as a part and parcel of the software. So Pradeep will anyway will dwell deeper into both these aspects, design guidance as well as selection helper. Another good feature which is available in 3D Creator is single modeling environment. When it comes to single modeling environment, it's something like you need to plan for your assembly structure upfront. You can make the model changes at any point of time. It's basically through a single modeling environment. You are not creating your assembly first and then working on the parts. You can start with the parts and create your assembly at the later date. That's an advantage when you're working with this kind of environment. Another good feature is quick edit. You can make edit in geometries without directly affecting even the downstream references also. So it gives you a tool where you can simply go and work on a geometry without affecting the downstream any references, kind of a thing. Uh, Another good advantage of working with 3D Experience platform, it has an integrated marketplace. So integrated marketplace gives you obviously a good amount of library available, online library which is available at your disposal. Apart from a good library, it also helps you in easing the sourcing of parts or services. You can get it the services and sourcing of parts across the world. So acts as a complete Amazon kind of environment for the designer in this particular in 3D Creator itself. Another good feature, which obviously as a part of 3D Experience platform, you get a collaboration and communities as a part and parcel of 3D Creator. You also get a design data vault. So the data which you're creating, you can control the access to the particular design data, who can access it, who can't access it. You have a complete control on the change management process. You can control the version. You can have a very good integration with SOLIDWORKS. So these are the all key features which makes a 3D Creator is a complete unique proposition which helps you to build your design. Let's look at the second tool available in today's discussion, that is 3D Sculptor. When it comes to 3D Sculptor, it's a basically a what we call it basically a browser-based subdivision modeling tool. Yeah, you need to go back once probably. Oh, sorry. No, I'm mistaken. So, okay. So when it comes to 3D Sculptor, let's before we go ahead about the features part, let's look at what are the industrial design process which is being followed in 3D Sculptor. In any industrial design process, basically designers basically do the sketching, then they try to get feedback from the community, basically the end user. They try to get feedback on that, then they try to do a pre-visualization, or sometimes pre-visualization happens first and then ideation happens at the later date. Then you go for a detailed design and then the final output. Now let's assume after this sketching part and even the ideation part also, you come across some design changes which you come across at the detailed design level. From detailed design, you can't go back to the sketching level because there is no backward integration which is available in a normal industrial design process. That's where 3D Sculptor comes into picture. When it comes to 3D Sculptor's portfolio, or when it comes to that's design flow. Yeah, next slide, please, Gurpreet. There is an integration happens there. The integration when it comes to 3D Sculptor is you are basically getting a tool which has having an industrial design plus an ideation in a single tool, and then any detailed design which you do, whether you do it in a SolidWorks environment or whether you do it in a 3D Creator environment which you have just shown, there is a backward integration which is also possible. So any industrial design which you're creating at a level 1, you are also taking it to the detailed design level, and detailed design level you can take it back to the ideation level also. So that makes this particular tool as very powerful tool. So you can have an integration, not even the forward integration, the backward integration is also equally available with you. Let's look at the few features in 3D Sculptor which makes this particular proposition a very attractive proposition. As I said before, this is basically nothing but a browser-based subdivisional modeling. So you basically get you can use an images, or you can use an sketches basically as a guide to create those 3D surface geometry. So this tool can help you to create 3D surface geometry from a basic sketches which you have done, it might be on your paper, so you can use any of the photographs to do that surface modeling in this particular tool. Not even surface modeling, as you take the output from the surface modeling, it automatically converts the surface modeling to a solid modeling through a NURB solid modeling also. So that makes this particular tool a very powerful tool. Obviously, it has that capability of touch devices, so you can use it on any touch device, because it's basically a browser based solution. So you are not restricted whether you are like to use iPad, whether you would like to use Surface Pro, any touch device you can easily use this particular tool. Then obviously it provides you a seamless integration, as we have just seen in last slide also, between 3D Creator, 3D Sculpture, or SolidWorks. That integration basically helps you to move easily from detailed design to the concept level, and concept level to back to the detailed design level kind of a thing. And then obviously this is again based on 3D Experience platform, so you get those advantages of collaboration and communities, the design data vault, the change management, all those processes which helps you while doing this particular job. So let me call upon Gurpreet to take you further and dwell deeper into the discussion which you have just started. Yeah, Gurpreet, over to you.
Thank you, Rohit. So first of all, good afternoon all, and I hope you and your loved ones are safe and healthy in the current situation. And let's pray for everyone across the globe. So thanks, Rohit, for taking us through the overall basic backbone and the skeleton of the today's session. And what me and Pradeep would like to take you through is, we would like you to take you through the actual product demonstration on the 3D Experience platform design role. So wherein we have taken today one of the product of one of our customers. So this product is called Motoni, which is basically, it's a smart prosthetic, so which basically will help people, those are differently able, to basically enjoy their day-to-day activities and their passion, to regain their passion once again. So this product is basically given to us, the data set is given to us by the customer, so that we can share it publicly, and we can basically show the power of the 3D Experience platform design roles. So herein, let me just take you through a quick overview on what we are going to cover. Me and Pradeep going to cover in next 25 to 30 minutes. So we are going to take you through the concept of the product structure. So wherein every organization, whenever they basically start working on a project, they probably basically first work on the project structure. So the first thing that they need is the bill of material to support their RFQ, to support their basic design plan, and then a lot of downstream applications are need the basic assembly structure and the bill of material. So we'll see that how we can use the 3D Experience platform applications to support it. And then we are going to basically talk about task and timeline. So wherein we'll create a project plan, and let us see that how 3D Experience platform is gonna support us over there. Then once the tasks are created, we'll assign those tasks to different team members. So in this case, mechanical design is being done by Pradeep Niduram, and the freeform design will be done by me. And then we'll also take you through the review and the markup capabilities, and then probably we'll basically talk about the desktop integration as well. So we are going to take you through a complete product simulation of the product design process using 3D Experience platform. So let me just start with the first ingredient in our nice bowl of soup. So wherein we first want to basically talk about the product structure. So what happens is, as mentioned earlier, project structure is something which is required at the initial stage itself. So whenever we either we start a new product, or we basically reuse some existing design, and then we basically try to make some changes in that. So every time, the first thing that we need a product structure to be there, so that we can basically work on the project plan, and also the budgeting, and also the bill of material. So let us see that how 3D Experience platform is gonna help us over here. So what I'm doing over here is I'll go to the project manager's dashboard, and here I'm using the engineering release application over here on the 3D Experience platform. So what I've done is I have basically created a spreadsheet, and the spreadsheet I have basically added some basic information like what is going to be the name of the parts, the metadata, and who is going to basically be the owner of that particular part. So I have added some basic information, and from that Excel sheet I'm able to basically create a product structure over here, if you see. So I can also add the lot of other details like the part number, enterprise number, and the revision as well. So here what I'm doing is I'm grabbing few parts and I'm going to allocate it to Gurpreet over here as a project manager. So from my product structure itself, I am allocating few parts. So Gurpreet Singh is responsible for these set of parts over here, and rest of the part I have already basically assigned it to Pradeep Neduram as well. Okay, so once the part assignment is done, so what I can do is I can use the tools available within this application to further make the editing in the assembly structure over here. So now if you see, I can add new assembly, I can add new sub assembly, I can add a new part, I can add a drawing, and so I can basically modify the structure before I'm basically jumping into the 3D CAD. And this is if I want to start something from scratch, that can also be done. I can start a complete assembly structure from scratch as well. So once my assembly structure is finalized and I have added or I have made the required changes, so I can then allocate these required components into something called bookmark. So bookmark is something like it's like a favorite folder for me, so wherein I keep a track of all the changes those are happening in those parts, and it basically is very useful for me in the platform. So anytime I need not to search the data, I just need to take that data from the bookmark itself. So just to summarize what we have seen in the last 1 minute, so we have seen how we can import the Excel sheet and create an assembly structure out of it, and we can manually build the assembly structure from scratch as well, and you can generate a BOM before actually working on a 3D geometry, and then you can assign the responsibilities, and you can also add the content in the smart favorite folder with called bookmarks. So once my product structure is ready, let me go one step further. So wherein I'm going to basically create a project plan over here. So let us see that how applications, apps available on the 3D Experience platform are going to help me over here. So in the project planning, so I'm basically using the project planning, Innovia project planning app over here, and I'm basically working on the scheduling. So I can create a sub project, I can add a milestone, and I can add a task over here. So I'm adding new task, which is foot cover design. So I'm basically assigning 2 days as the time to complete this task, and once this task is being created, I'm going to add a dependency. So I need to start the add the source and the destination for the dependency, and you can see how easily I'm able to do that. So both the foot cover task is now dependent on the link arm task. So here I'm editing the link arm task, and I'm setting the priority over here, and then I'm going to add a assignee to this task. I want to assign this task to Pradeep Niduram. So I'm going to add his name over here, and Pradeep is gonna get notified that this task is being assigned to him. So after assigning the task, I'm also attaching the actual 3D file on which he need to work. So this is the actual assembly file on which he gonna work. So the point over here is this is a very smart project planning application wherein tasks are basically actually connected to the 3D geometry. That 3D geometry could be a SolidWorks geometry, or could be a geometry created in xDesign and xShape apps as well. So once this is done, here you can see the Pradeep's name is listed over here. Next, I'm going to assign the task and set the priority for a foot cover design as well. So here and I'm going to assign this task to Gurpreet, and then I'm going to attach the required part over here, which is the foot cover part, so that this should be always be available along with the task. So it's a collaborative project planning application which helps you to create the tasks even on the go. So you can access this application even on your mobile device as well. So here you see our tasks are automatically created. Soon I create the Gantt chart, And then from this, I can also see a summary. So wherein I have the milestones, I have the task, and I have the any task at risk that will be notified, and then a lot of other information like task burn down, resource usage, and so on. So the complete information is available to me to carry out my design work. So what we have seen in last couple of minutes is we have seen that how 3D Experience Platform app is going to help me with the collaborative project management. So we can create tasks, we can add milestones, and everything that we do within this project planning app is basically connected to the actual 3D data. So the automatic tasks are basically created automatically, and notifications are also basically given to the actual assignees of the task. And then you can also have a complete project management dashboard wherein you can actually see the real-time changes to your project. And then the attachments or deliverables are basically connected to the card data, and this application can be accessed anywhere, anytime, on any device. So with this, let me just move to the next portion of our demonstration over here. So wherein I have already assigned a task to Pradeep. So I'm going to hand it over to Pradeep so that he can basically take us through the next portion of the demonstration. So Pradeep, I'm making you as a presenter.
Thanks, Gurpreet. Good afternoon, everyone. So let me just take you through the mechanical design aspect of the presentation. So Gurpreet, as you saw, has assigned a task to me, which I can clearly see here in my tasks tab. So as like Gurpreet, I'm also using a Google Chrome browser interface on a simple home Wi-Fi connection, and it works perfectly fine. So since now that I'm going to start my link arm design, I'm just going to drag and drop it in progress state. And once this is done, I can get started on my actual design process. So here I have my xDesign application, and in addition to that, I also have my bookmarks window where I have all my favorite and frequently accessed parts. So I'm just going to drag and drop this component into the xDesign window, which is my mechanical design application. And I can also resize the windows to my choice and liking. And within just a couple of seconds, I can get started on the actual part modeling aspect of the link arm design. Here you go. So you can see that it has got familiar feature manager, what we call as design manager here, and all the frequently accessed commands on the bottom tab. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just create a few more pockets and finish off this component. So let me just start by sketching a simple profile on the top surface. And xDesign offers a wide variety of simple yet very easy to use tools at your disposal. And these things are very, very flexible in nature. You can get the best of both worlds, as we like to call it. So here I'm just going to have some more relations in place before I actually start giving some dimensions. So let's say I want to make these two entities equal. So xDesign has a heads up user interface, and it allows me to add relations as I go. And further, if I want to dimension it, I don't have to look for the smart dimension. As soon as I click any sketch entity, it gives me a weak dimension, which I can later make a strong dimension. And now I'm going to add a few fillets, which will finish off this sketch. So the way I do it is I can just drag a contour, and it will select, and I can also resize this to 2 mm. There you go. And now what I will do is I will just use the sketch to remove some material. So the way I do it is it's very intuitive. I can just select the surface and grab the handle here. You drag it out of the part, it adds material, drag it into the part, it removes material. And further, it also gives us options of adding a through one-way cut or go both ways. And this heads up user interface is always going to help you. So the software is so intuitive that it's going to help you, and it's actually one step ahead of you. And I want to add a few chamfers to finish off this pocket. So as soon as I grab edge, I get my frequently used commands. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just change the value. And xDesign is predicting that, I might add a few more edges. So it is giving me option of selecting the bottom edges as well as the top edges, which I can select with one single click, and I'm good to go. So now I also have a few more tasks to do. So you see you notice the bumpers around here. So there's no pocket cut out for them. So I need to, spend some more time to do it. But there's a fantastic option in xDesign which helps us to, directly go from a face to a feature without a sketch. So I can select this particular face and I can just go directly to a feature to cut or remove some material. And people who have been in traditional CAD tools know how much of effort and time this takes. So with a few clicks, I have created a pocket, a beautiful pocket which houses this bumper. And I will repeat the same operation here for the second pocket. So I just need to locate the right selection, and the heads up toolbars will let me select all the options that I'm looking for. So blind is okay. I'll just reverse the direction and select okay. So Gurpreet, what do you think about this?
Yeah, Pradeep, it's pretty nice. So because I always spend a lot of time in creating the sketches, and what happens is if tomorrow this geometry changes, and so this pocket cutout will basically adapt to the geometry shape as well. So it's pretty interesting to me. Yeah.
Absolutely. So I just need to mirror this pockets onto the other side as well. So I'll just leverage my mirror tool, and you all know how this works. So just grab the plane and select the features, and we are good to go. So you get a good visual preview of it. And when you're satisfied, you can accept, and then you can. So I just need the bumpers as well. So I'm going to come to the top level and just mirror the two components, which are the bumpers, onto the other side as well. So again, I do this by going to my assembly tab, get into my mirror command, and grab these bumpers. Oh no, first I need to select the plane and the components. So I can also bring in all the mates that are needed so that these things will stay in place. So just with a couple of clicks, we are all set. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in one more component to assemble this and finish the assembly. So I'm just going to drag and drop this component called demo base, and I'm just going to insert this component. And I just need to create a few more steps to finalize the positioning of this. But before that, I have a small doubt, whether this particular component is being referred in any other project or assembly, so that any changes I'm going to do will not affect any upstream or downstream projects. So to do that, I can leverage my Innovia bookmark editor and the relationship explorer. So just with a couple of clicks, I'll be able to search within my database whether this particular component is being used in any other project. So with that, we will be 100% assured that any changes we are doing here will not impact any other project work elsewhere. So I'll just select this particular component, and I get to use the triad, which will conveniently let me move the component as well as rotate the component. And now I'm in a better position to start creating a mates. So let me go ahead and do that. So all I have to do is select the surface.
So Pradeep, do you have a mate command inside xDesign, because I'm not able to see it?
I mean, yeah, there is, but we are not going into any menus, pulling down options. Everything happens on the screen with the model at the center of your workflow. So your focus is 100% on the design and nothing else. So and xDesign is helping me add these mates as we go. So all I have to do is grab the entities, and it is suggesting me the best available option. So I want this edge to be flush. So it has created the mate on its own without any menus or any cumbersome workflow. So the last one is just to place it parallelly.
So it has a very clean interface. This is what I'm able to observe right now. Yeah.
Absolutely, you're 100% right about that. So you can see that within just a matter of 5-6 minutes, I was able to finish off this component and also create a beautiful assembly out of it. So that's the beauty of xDesign. So I will just fast forward a few more steps and show you the final design of this mobile knee. So this is what we were able to achieve. So just xDesign also offers you 100% what you see is what you get kind of a feeling. So you can move the components, and the assembly behaves exactly the way it's supposed to behave, with all the motion and relative motion and the mates in place. So that's it from my side. So I'm done with my task. So I think I'll just drag and drop my task to the done list, which will conclude my part. Over to you, Gurpreet.
Thanks, Pradeep. So I'll just present my screen. Yeah, so I'll Pradeep, I hope my screen is visible now.
Yeah, Gurpreet, let me summarize the benefit. So mechanical design aspects, whatever we saw till now was all on a simple, lightweight Google Chrome browser on a home Wi-Fi connection, and you saw the performance was flawless. And as Gurpreet and Rohit have previously highlighted, there's no installation required, and everything happens in a single modeling environment where there's no differentiation between what is a part environment, assembly environment. So everything happens in one. And you saw how easy it was to use these commands, and so the learning curve is absolutely very short, and at the same time very easy to use as well. And design workflow is completely flexible. You can adapt it, you can customize it to your liking. And you might not have noticed, but as we were doing a lot of data management. All the versioning and the revisioning is happening as we keep designing. So everything, the complexity is behind the screens, and the users will experience absolute ease of use when they go through the 3D Experience Works platform. Over to you, Gurpreet.
Yeah, thanks, Pradeep. So in the next part of the demonstration, I'm going to basically take you through how we can create freeform design using the 3D Experience platform apps over here. So what I'm going to do is, this particular task, I have to basically work on the foot cover. So as you have seen, this task is being assigned to me. So here I go to my task pane. So to my collaborative task over here. So this foot cover task has been assigned. So let me just move this task to in progress. And you know what is happening the moment I move it in progress, the project management dashboard is also being updated in real time, and the project manager can actually see what is happening and how the things are moving in the overall organization. So I'm basically going to work on this particular area, so where I'm gonna create this foot cover. So let me just go to this foot cover sub-assembly over here. So since we are working in the on cloud, we are basically working on the inbuilt data management system. So every time if I'm going to work on a particular sub-assembly, I need to reserve it. So if you see this part is being reserved by me, which means even accidentally, no one in the organization other than me will be able to make any changes to this particular sub-assembly or that part. So the data management capabilities are built in within the software application. So next, what I need to do is let me just start working on the foot cover over here. So in order to basically start working on the foot cover, so let me just place this foot cover over here nicely, and then okay, the view I have placed it. Now I'm going to basically use the subdivision modeling, which is something which is a lot of people across the SolidWorks customer base have actually requested for a long time, and it is available to SolidWorks customers now. So I'm going to start working with a primitive. So let me just take this box primitive over here, and let me just put this box primitive on the origin, and then I would like to basically change some segments in the Z direction. The lesser the segment I have, I'll be able to have a better control over here. So let me just change it to 2 segments in the Y direction, and maybe I'll scale this a little bit, maybe by 140 scale size, and then I'm basically done. And the next thing that I'm going to do is let me just add some symmetry, so that whatever I perform on one end, on the one side, on the left hand, it should be replicated to the right hand as well. So I have added some symmetry over here, and let me just start working on this primitive. It is something like a blob of clay on which I'm basically going to use my sculpting techniques to model it. Okay, so here I have basically created an open surface over here. So the next thing I'm going to do is let me just grab this some control points over here, and reset my robot, and then let me just move it over here. And so now you can see that how easily I'm able to basically play with the primitive over here. So the next thing that I'm going to do is let me just grab some of the edges, and then maybe I want to create a crease over here because I need a flat face on the top. I don't want a face with smooth edges. Okay, so let me just grab a few more edges, and then let me just give it a little move it a little down, and see how easily I'm able to work with this primitive over here. So the next thing that I'm going to do is another key aspect of the subdivision modeling is to ability to create something on the fly. Okay, so let me just grab these faces, and then let me just further subdivide these faces into multiple faces, and then let me just subdivide these faces as well. So here I have done a couple of subdivisions. Okay, and the next thing that I'm going to do is let me just select some of the edges, and then I'm going to make these edges also as sharp edges. Okay, so once this is being achieved, so let me just select some of the edges on the outer portion and from the inner portion as well, and then I use my robot to give it a nice shape. So Pradeep, how this looks like?
Gurpreet, I think with just a few clicks, you have been able to, create this shape out of thin air. So I think that's very impressive. I'm just concerned on the manufacturability part of it. Maybe, if we can just finish off.
Okay.
That.
Okay, fine. So what I will do is let me just create the final body out of it, and then let's work on the manufacturability aspect as well. Okay. So the next thing that I'm going to do over here is I'm just done with the basic shape, and let me just share this shape with my team. But before doing that, let me just use the traditional surface modeling tools. Those are there. Like I'm going to use the trim tool, and then I'm going to use this surface as the surface to trim, and then I'm using the sketch as the trim tool. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I have basically added the actual size that I need for this foot cover, which is defined by the sketch, and I'm going to basically trim off this surface over here. So once this surface is being trimmed, so let me just quickly add the thickness as well. Okay, so let me just add the thickness. Let me just select this body, and then the thickness of 0.5 mm, and it's going to be inwards. And then the best part is I'm working on a sub D model, but still I will be able to basically in the end able to create a final shape over here, which is basically a solid body, a nice solid body. So imagine how much time we would have taken with the traditional parametric techniques or the traditional surface modeling techniques to achieve this shape out over here. So let me just save this, and let me just revisit my slide. So wherein what we have seen in this portion of the demonstrations, you will be able to access this industrial design tool and subdivision modeling tool on cloud, which means you need not to have any installation to be done. You just open your browser and then you basically log in and start working. And so it has very nice subdivision sub-D modeling capabilities and with a mix of the surfacing tools. And it basically also has the single modeling environment wherein you need not to worry about the assembly structure. You can just start building your part, and then probably you grab few features, and then you basically assign it as a component. So part and assembly is in the same environment, and you can basically generate complex shape on any device, even if you use a touch device or any other a tablet or an iPad or an Android device, or even the Microsoft Surface hardware as well. So there also you'll be able to use this tool. And then yes, so the end product is basically the manufacturing ready the sub-D model. So wherein it basically converts into a nub, and then we basically end up in getting a actual solid body over here. So let's move to the review and markup capability. So once I am done with my basic design, so let me just go to my review tab over here, and I have a lot of tools available for doing the review. So let me just grab this foot cover from my bookmark editor and let me put it in this 3D markup app over here. Okay, so Pradeep, do you feel this is okay, or do we need some changes to be done?
Yeah, Gurpreet, I think this is perfect. I think, just the manufacturability aspect where we can add some draft, and that I think we would have taken everything.
I feel some draft needs to be added over here, right?
Yep.
So probably what Pradeep can do is he can basically log in and he can basically do some markup activity as well. Apply 1.5 degree draft. Okay, so maybe something like this command he basically adds, and basically he wants to add a draft over here so that it can be injection molded very easily. So this review that can be shared with the organization across the board. So now once this review is done, so let me just come back and basically perform the changes in the design over here. So let me just go back, and at any point in time I can edit my subdivision surface. Okay, and probably over here I would like to make few changes before I move to the editing. Okay, so probably I will select this entire body, and probably if required I can make it a little squeeze if required, and then probably I would like to go with my draft analysis tool over here. So in this draft analysis tool, let me just select XY as the plane, and here if you see I enter 1.5 degree as the draft. So here it basically clearly shows that all these surfaces require the draft to be added. So now imagine how easy it is to basically add a draft in a sub-D model over here. So you just need to quietly move the set of edges so that you basically get a adequate draft. Okay, so I'm able to achieve some adequate draft over here. So the next I'm going to add some more draft over here as well. So once this is done, I think I'll be good to go from the manufacturability point of view. But how about if I wish to come little closer to the shape, because this is a model that can be done with a traditional surface modeling as well. Pradeep, how much time you gonna take if I want ask you to create a similar model in traditional surface modeling techniques?
Nothing less than a few hours, Gurpreet. I don't think we can
Yeah.
do this so
Yeah, so
quickly.
gentlemen, how much time I have took? Probably not more than 5-7 minutes. Okay, so what I'm going to do is let me just use the sellout over here to take it as a reference. I can also add a sketch. I can also take the reference of an image that generally in the industrial design tools we generally do. Okay, so here you see that how beautifully I will be in a position to add the shape to my model over here. Okay, so I'm able to add a nice shape over here as well. And then probably one more edit that I'm going to do is probably make this portion a little down, and maybe I will move this portion a little up. Okay, and then I'm just good to go. So now imagine I've not taken more than 10 minutes, 12 minutes to create this fantastic shape over here using the xDesign app. And in the end, what I basically receive is the final model, okay, which is a solid body. So let me just go to my community over here. Okay, so I have completed my design and I would like to share this design with my design team. So what I'm gonna do is in case I want to share this design with my design team, let me just save this once, and then I'll go to my community. Okay, so here I will put my final design, and then using the 3D Play app, it's basically a viewer using which you can basically take a look on your final product. It could be a part, it could be assembly, and then I'm going to share this final design with my team. Okay, so I'm going to use 3D Swim community to do that. Final design for your reference. Okay, so maybe I'm adding a post over here. Okay, and I'm putting this post as final design, and I'm publishing this post, and this post is being added to a community called bio community. Okay, so here if you see, the post is being added. So swim community basically acts like a social platform for your organization. Okay, so we have worked on lot of other activities within the organization. So here you can see tons of data is being shared by different team members sitting across the country, sharing a lot of their ideas, a lot of their views. Like if I take this example of this life science community, so we're in a lot of interaction being happening, and especially I would like to take you through this ideas funnel over here. So you can basically your team can come up with a lot of ideas, and those ideas can be added in the community, and then those ideas based on the number of likes, number of comments, and based on the interaction, it can be moved to a matured state within the idea pipeline over here. Apart from ideas, you can also add add a post the way we do in the social media platforms. You can add a photo, video, or a 3D XML file. You can add a VDO, which basically helps us to assign a task to someone in our team, and then basically defining the end date as well. And then you can also post a question, survey, or a wiki. So this community basically acts as an overall social platform for the organization over here. So with this, I would like to basically summarize the review and the markup capabilities. So wherein you can do your design reviews, and something that we have just missed. So within the review app, I can also create an issue or a change action as well from within the review application. And then there I can actually pinpoint the area where the issue is there, and then based on that I can create a change action to be taken care by my team members. And overall the platform that I've shown you has a lot of capabilities for collaborating with the internal and the external team members, and it can act as a social collaboration platform for the complete organization. And what you have seen right now on the xShape, so we have a nice sub-D modeling environment which basically helps you to create a complex shape with so much of ease, and the end product is going to be a solid model, and that you can directly use inside xDesign or in SolidWorks as well. So let me just take you through this as well. 3D creator and the 3D sculptor applications, which is xDesign and xShape, that Pradeep and I have shown you, are both integrated with SolidWorks desktop CAD also. So whatever design we create inside xDesign, or any complex shape we create inside xShape, can be used in SolidWorks desktop, and any changes done over here can also be replicated to the data which is there on the 3D experience platform. So we have a very close integration of the desktop along with the cloud design solutions. So with this, I would like to basically hand over the session to Rohit.
Yeah, thank you, Gurpreet. Friends, you have seen the parametric as well as the subdivision modeling in xDesign as well as in xShape. And you are also seen in xShape how the surface modeling can be converted to a solid modeling while giving an output from this particular application. In xDesign, he has also shown you the design guidance and the generative design methods which is being adopted, while Pradeep has shown you the complete mechanical design in this particular product line. Then obviously, as we have clearly said, machine-based learning is an basically premise on which these particular products have been made. And then assembly handling is much more easy with a single modeling environment, and then you have an easy integration with SolidWorks. There has been few questions where specifically people have asked, is it an extension of SolidWorks? No, this is not an extension of SolidWorks. You don't need SolidWorks to run these particular products. These products are based in 3D Experience platform. Since these particular products are based in 3D Experience platform, the advantage of 3D Experience platforms comes handy while using this particular platform. Advantages like the collaboration, which Gurpreet has shown you in much more detail, collaboration with the team members when you're collaborating between two team members, or when you're collaborating interdepartmental team, you have all kind of collaboration availability in using 3D Experience platform. Then it has a complete design data management capability. So all this task assignment which Gurpreet has shown it to you, or you could see a lot of other stuff. For example, there was a revision control which is very easy in this particular portfolio. So all these things are inbuilt into this particular product portfolio. Then since this is an on cloud product, so you don't need an heavy on-premise infrastructure. So you don't need a workstation to operate this particular product. You can simply use a touch screen of your tablets, or you can use it from your laptops also. So any home use laptops can also be used to work on this particular product portfolio. Then obviously it's a real-time collaboration which you have seen, because the kind of stuff which Pradeep was doing online, and same way Gurpreet was able to see those particular changes and can work upon that. So the collaboration as well as real-time collaboration is happening across the board. So you're not waiting for end of the day to send back the data to a servers, or waiting for those kind of arrangements. Then obviously it provides you mobility in the sense you can work from home, or even you say you are a design manager or the head of the organization, so you need to have an approval for the designs which has been created by the team. You can see all that stuff in your mobiles itself, and you can give a markup to this. You can reply back to those particular people in a markup. You can reply back. You can do a complete annotation of this particular portfolio. So these are the advantages which you get with 3D Creator and 3D Sculptor, and it's very easy to use the product portfolio. So with this, we will end our session.
Rohit, before we proceed further, last thing I want to basically show the audience. So which is I have just opened my xShape model on on my iPad.
Oh, that's great.
Okay, so whatever I was able to do in the workstation or in the laptop, same things I can do over here. So we have a complete touch enabled interface that you can see over here. Let me just do and go and do some editing in this nice looking foot cover. Okay, so probably I'm going to make some editing changes. So let me just orient my view first of all. Okay, so see everything, this is something I'm doing live on my iPad over here. And then once let me just zoom in, and then probably I will go to the selection area. I'm able to basically do some selection over here. And then if required, I can make some changes as and when required. Okay, so see the changes I'm able to make to my model from within my iPad. And then once I'm okay with these changes, I will be able to again bring my model back, okay, to 3D, and you can see, so these changes are I have done in my iPad. Apart from this, whatever you have seen today in the project managers dashboard or in the designer's dashboard, so everything is available there on my iPad. So please note, I'm not promoting iPad over here since I have this device, so I'm just talking about it. Okay, so I can do my product structure editing, I can do my project planning, okay, I can do my CAD design, I can do my sub-D modeling on any device, anywhere and anytime. So with this, Rohit, I think we can close the session and we can open for the Q&A.
So I think you can go to Q&A. Yeah. So you can write down your questions on the question panel, and we will start replying that. So there is one question where it has been asked whether InnovaWorks is built into xDesign and xShape. Yes, InnovaWorks apps are part and parcel of xDesign and xShape. So while buying xDesign and xShape, you get the relevant InnovaWorks apps as a part and parcel of that. So then there is a question: xDesign and xShapes are two separate products or a single collection? These are two separate products, but then you can buy it definitely both together also. So you can buy it separately also, you can buy it together also. It is purely up to you. Then there is a question on Gurpreet, I think you need to take up these particular questions. Few technical questions are there.
Yes, Rohit, which
I'll
one?
just read it for you. There is a question: is this available on private cloud? Sir, this is available on public cloud. These two products which I have shown it to you, it is available on a public cloud. It is hosted on AWS platform, and as of now for India, AWS Mumbai pod is being used for this particular application. What are the licenses needed? Sir, for the licenses part, you need to get in touch with your respective resellers. They can answer your queries, which are the licenses needed for this particular part. There is a question: it is possible to integrate 3D experience with NX? Sir, yes, it is possible, but then this question needs slightly more in-depth discussion because you need separate set of tools for this. I would suggest you to get in touch with your reseller for answer this particular question. Gurpreet, there is a question: how the BOM is shared with procurement?
Okay, so how the BOM is we can generate a Excel from the bill of material, the product structure app, and then using that Excel, you can basically share it securely through the InnovaWorks application. So you can securely that BOM with the procurement team.
Okay, so I think Gurpreet, there was few questions on the product structure which you have shown. So there is a question like how predefined assembly made directly. There were other few questions which were probably the very first part of the presentation which you started. What exactly you imported from Excel? You can just elaborate on that.
Yeah, so what we have taken from Excel is we have basically created the assembly I have taken, and that assembly's BOM I have imported, exported as Excel, and then I have re-imported it just to show you that we can create a product structure from the Excel as well. Okay, so ideally how it is going to work is we have a Excel template, so you need to basically fill in the complete product structure over here, and that will be basically opened, and then the project structure will be created. So in case there are few parts those are already there in the database, it is going to link to those parts, and the parts those are needs to be freshly built, it is going to basically, we need to assign that whether it's a sub assembly or an assembly that we need to add over there. So you can work on the assembly structure either on a half-cooked BOM, or you can have a BOM that you basically, or a product structure which you create from scratch within the product structure app, the engineering release app. Yeah.
Okay. So there are many questions on the licensing part. So I'll answer all those questions in a single stuff. So this is not this is primarily available in a SaaS model. So you are paying a yearly subscription model, and it is a cloud-based product. It doesn't rest on SolidWorks. It rests on a 3D Experience platform. So you are primarily buying an cloud subscription for this. Then there was a question how many people can be how many number of designers can be added. There is no limitation on the number of designers on these particular applications, so it's up to you how you want to work on these particular platforms. You just need those many number of logins to work upon. Then Gurpreet, there is a question, parts which are designed in xDesigns are able to show model history, and if we open it in a desktop SolidWorks. So I think you question is slightly incomplete, but then you can
yeah, so
that.
if you create a part in xDesign or in xShape and you import it in SolidWorks, it will show it as a native body, basically exported, opened inside SolidWorks, where it won't show you the feature history. But having said that, you can make the editing changes in that part or the assembly, and then tomorrow if you make any changes either in xShape or xDesign, those changes will be automatically get reflected to the parts those are used in your SolidWorks desktop assembly. So there is a internal connection that works, that basically connects your assembly to the real-time cloud 3D space, which is basically our the cloud drive. Okay, so it will always have a connection with the source file. So any changes you do it over there, those changes will be reflected in the SolidWorks desktop version as well.
Okay, so there is another question which is related to the security of data, because a lot of people have asked this particular question. So I will just share 2 slides. Gurpreet, if you can share the securities slide, the last slide probably. So dear friends, this particular tools are primarily hosted on a AWS platform. Next slide, please, Gurpreet. So it's hosted on a AWS platform, and the AWS platform itself is also certified for the relevant security certification, that is basically ISO 27001. And similarly, the application which is maintained by 3D Experience platform with the Dassault system, we are also certified for the highest security standards on this particular part. So your data security, I can assure you, it is far better than the normal security which is provided at organization level, because public clouds are much more secure for that particular matter. So I think we have exceeded much our time by a very high limit. So we will close today's webinar, but then obviously there are a few questions which are specifics. We will ask our resellers when they'll get in touch with you, they can reply back to those particular questions. Thanks a lot from my side, Rohit here. Yeah, Gurpreet.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks for your
Thank you,
time.
Gurpreet.
And
I think
thank you all. Thank you, Gurpreet. Thank you, Pradeep, and thank you, Rohit. I hope this webinar has been wonderful and a more knowledgeable session. If you still have any questions regarding the session, if you need to know more about the product, please feel free to send us an email. The recording of this webinar will be made available post 24 hours. You will receive an email with the recording link. If you want, you can watch it once again. Thanking everyone. So we will close the session today.